Hey everyone, it's been a while, but finally have some time to put together in a quick build. Right now I'm filming this in gorilla camera mode, if you haven't noticed, just holding it with my hand. But just this is going to be a quick video. I'm going to try and make this a quick video. That's what I mean. So we're going to go ahead and be putting together a budget esports PC. You can tell it's going to be for esports just by the look of this GPU over here. But what we got here is a whole bunch of components from my spare parts bins that I have lying around that I'm trying to get out. I was worried that I might be losing my job during this pandemic, so I've been working on just clearing out all my personal inventory of computer crap. I got so much, and I know I just got demonetized right there. Well, I can't even be monetized because I only have like 5 people that watch these videos, but I just got demonetized there for cussing in the beginning of the video. But let's go ahead, go over some components. So the main part of this platform is going to be this Intel motherboard. This is a DQ67SW. This is a Sandy Bridge Ivy Bridge baseboard, I believe. I believe it's mainly Sandy Bridge, but I think with the latest BIOS, you can put an Ivy Bridge CPU in there. The CPU we have in there is, I don't know if this will focus on it, but this is a Core i5-2400. So 4 cores, 4 threads at 3.1 gigahertz. Definitely not the fastest thing, but we're not looking for speed. I believe this came out of like a pre-built system. I have the latest BIOS still downloaded because Intel made the genius move to removing all the drivers. Hopefully the audio driver looks like it's just a Realtek chip on that board, so it should just be a Realtek audio driver. We have our 2 SATA 6 gig ports, SATA 6 gigabits per second, SATA 3 ports. No USB 3 on the board. Oops, only USB 2. And our choice of memory is going to be varied. So we have 3 routes. I have this. This came out of a gateway system. This is 6 gigabytes, DDR3 33 megahertz, and 3 sticks. And then I have these things I purchased off of eBay. I think after I saw a Linus Tech Tick video. These are DDR3 SODIMM to DDR3 DIMM risers for laptop DDR3 to desktop sockets. Right now I have it populated with 2 4 gig Samsung chips, but I also have these 8 gig chips if the motherboard supports it. I don't know if it supports either of this wacky configuration, but we're going to go ahead and try it first with the regular RAM and then move it on to these 2. And if it works with the 2 8 gig modules, that's what I'll go with. In terms of storage, we have a 180 gig Intel SSD 520. This came out of my Elitebook 877W. That's where I got the RAM and the SSD because I upgraded it to 32 gigs, and I upgraded the SSD to a 1 terabyte 850 Pro. So I've actually never even put my OS on it. I had the SSD before I even put it in the machine. So this is going to be the boot drive. And for some storage, we have a WD 640 gig drive. This came out of my friend's Alienware all the way back in 2010. So I've had this drive quite a long time. It used to host some games on my old gaming computer, but it's just kind of been in storage for then. For cooling, since this is an i5-2400, we're just going to go with the stock Intel CPU cooler. Nothing fancy. Can't really push the system too hard. Our GPU, whoops, I'm making a mess. I'm going to destroy the system before I even build it. Our GPU, I believe this is a Radeon 4650. This is or a Radeon 560 or 550X. This is an HP part number. I believe I actually bought this for another upgrade project where I wanted a single slot GPU, but I ended up finding a dual slot GPU and just ate the second slot. I ended up not needing it. So I believe this is an RX 550, 4 gigabyte. So games we're going to be targeting is League of Legends, Rocket League, older games like Overwatch, maybe some Fortnite. We'll try it out. Nothing too crazy on this system. It's definitely going to be budget. I'm shooting for a sub $200 price point. I think I bought this for $50. The motherboard was salvage, CPU salvage. All this memory is salvage except for these risers. I believe they were about like $8 each, or $8 total on eBay from China. SSD came from previous system, and we also have a few extra components. We have a USB 3.0 front header card for the case. We have a WinYao. I believe this is an AC8260 Wi-Fi card and Bluetooth, because every modern computer these days got to have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. We have a power supply. This has been my testing power supply, but I would like to get another one. Maybe something that's not as overkill. I don't have all the modular cables for it, unfortunately, but I have enough to get the system up and running. And for the terms of the case, we have a Fractal Design Core 1100. This is a micro ATX case, which would be perfect for a micro ATX board. So I'm going to go ahead, start setting up all the components, and I'll show you with the video, the system and I'll show you all the components in the system once we have it up and running. Quick memory update. Turns out these two, with both the 4 gig Samsung SODIMMs and the 8 gig Kingston SODIMMs didn't work in the motherboard. I did find this 8 gig Corsair Vengeance DDR3 DIMM in my parts box, so I'll just put this in. It's going to be single channel, but I believe it's better to have 8 gigs than 6 gigs. So that's going to be the RAM configuration. Okay, so we got everything installed in the system. We have our one Corsair DDR3 Vengeance DIMM. We have our C600M all hooked up. We only need one lead for the SATA drives, the main 24-pin lead, and the 8-pin CPU lead, which I routed over here. This is actually only a 4-pin connector, but I just have them hooked together so they stay both in place. I ended up adding another 80mm fan, or I added an 80mm fan for exhaust, as well as the 120mm fan that comes in the machine already. We have our video card installed, Wi-Fi card below that, and our USB 3 card below that. All the cables have been managed as well as I possibly could have. This drive mounting system is definitely interesting. They want you to face the drives towards the front of the case, and I hooked them both up. I hooked them both up to the SATA 3 ports. Not like this SATA 2 hard drive really needs it, but the SSD will definitely benefit from being on those 2 ports. That leaves another 2 SATA ports for future expansion in these 5¼ inch drives if an optical drive was wanted to be put in there. But overall, did an alright job, I think. It looks pretty clean, especially from the outside. And we'll go ahead, turn it on, install Windows 10, and see how it plays some light games. Hey folks, so it's been basically almost the last week since my last clip. I got a little bit busy with life, but I'm back again. I ended up adding a SATA DVD drive to the build. I found a power lead and hooked it up, so it's basically all good. It's all ready to go. I've installed Windows. Whoops, I still gotta snip this lead. I routed the 8-pin, I guess technically it's only a 4-pin on this board, the CPU power connector over this fan and back around the C600, and I just zip tied it kind of to the case to make it stay a little bit. So I have to snip that, but my headphones are in the way as well. But I'm gonna go ahead. The drivers are installed in the system. I'll give a little overview of the desktop, and we'll get some performance metrics. So here's the system all turned on. As you can see, still need to get a Windows 10 license key for it, or I might even just sell it as is. This is supposed to be a budget system anyway. Just turn on whatever nonsense this is bugging me about. Looks like everything's working just fine. I'm going to go ahead and check for any updates. Feature update to Windows 10 version 20H2. Oh, fancy. Let's go to the device manager. Let's pull up all the devices. I just named it the name of the motherboard, DQ67SW. Looks like got our Intel Bluetooth, our 2 drives, our 640 gig drive, our 180 gig SSD, our Radeon RX 550. We have our storage drivers. We have our 82579 LM gigabit driver, our AC8260, our serial order management, TPM. Look, we have our 4 i5-2400 CPU cores, and it looks like, yep, this was a Realtek chip for the audio. And that's about it. And our USB controllers, we have 2 Renesas, I don't know how to pronounce it, USB 3.0 controllers. One's for the 2 built onto the motherboard, and one is for the front panel, the card that I have in there handling the front panel connector. So I'm going to go ahead, let's fire up a few things. Check out CPU Z, or Z, yes. Us Americans would call it. Yep, we have an Intel Core i5-2400 Sandy Bridge CPU, 32 nanometer. We have most of the modern instruction sets, most importantly SSE 4.1, 4.2, AES or AVX. Those are the important ones for the newer games to work, I believe. I could be completely wrong. Who knows? Just random person on YouTube. Check your facts, people. We have 6 megabytes L3 cache. We have, looks like, if I do math, a megabyte L2 cache. We can do some more math. That's 128 kilobytes of L1 cache, iCache, Dcache, so many caches. We have our DQ67SW. I've updated it to the latest BIOS because I had backed it up before when I got this motherboard a long time ago. Its date is now, the date of the BIOS is 10/24/2018, so that's not bad. Like, it's about 2 years ago exactly to this date. We have our 8 gigabytes of DDR3. It's in single channel because it's obviously just one stick. If I had more sticks of that memory, I'd put it in. It could probably run at 1600 megahertz. I can't find how to change it in the BIOS. I can't find a way to set the XMP setting, but for this system, it really shouldn't matter too much. It looks like this is an HP RX 5500, identifying itself as a Hewlett Packard SKU or FRU, whatever they want to call it. Let's go to GPU-Z. All right, so we have an RX 550/55 or RX 550/550 series. Like, I don't know, I don't get what their naming scheme is here, but the GPU core is Alexa. It's interesting. It's running at PCI Express 3.0 at 8x. It's currently running at 8x 1.1. I think it will go up to 2.0. All right, let me repeat that. It's capable of PCIe X8 3.0, but it probably could only, I think the motherboard, or I think Sandy Bridge in general, it could only has PCI Express version 2.0. So this will go at 8x 2.0. We have 512 shaders. We have 4 gigs of GDDR5 memory, 128-bit bus, 112 gigabytes per second bandwidth. I have the latest Adrenaline driver WHQL Windows Hardware Qualifying Labs or something like that, certified. Basically saying the driver certified. Temperature 24 degrees Celsius, running very cold. Single slot GPU only takes 50 watts TDP, so that's basically nothing. Let's go to hardware monitor. And our CPU is running at in the mid 20s. It's about mid 20s ambient here as well, so that's fine. That's what's idling at. Our 2 drives are fine. Everything looks good. Oh wow, it doesn't have a temperature reporting on this Intel SSD, or at least hardware monitor can't read it, but the hard drive is 25 degrees. So overall it's running. Actually, I'm going to leave that running. And we're going to go to Passmark. I'm going to run do I not have oh yeah, I have to go to performance test. I think I already ran it, but I'm going to run it again. We'll see what we come up with. Okay, continue. Waiting for collect all the temperatures and whatever it needs to collect. Or can I just run it? Will let me run it? Oh, sorry, jumping the gun here. It's getting mad at me. Oh, there it goes. All right, so it's going to go ahead and we'll run the tests, and I'll come back with the result. So Passmark finished up. It looks like we scored 2,599.3 points because it's in the 37th percentile system. Our strongest scores are the disk, the 3D graphics, and the 2D graphics. 2D graphics was in 47th, 3D graphics was 36th, and disk was 45th. Our lowest was memory, probably because of the single channel DDR3 1333 megahertz running at speed of memory. And then our CPU is the second lowest. It was in the 20th percentile, mainly because it's starting to get to the point where people are using many more like threaded and cored CPUs on this tool than just 4 cores. But it should get the job done. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clear all the data, anything that's left on this system. It shouldn't be too much. I'm going to clear any data, remove my Wi-Fi network, and I'm going to go get a Windows 10 key, activate it, and then I'm not editing that out, that sneeze. But I'm going to go ahead, activate, clear all the settings, and then I'm going to list it as is, basically. I'm going to list it more as a office PC than a gaming PC. I'm just going to basically say it's going to be just your average day computer with a light touch of gaming. You could probably do esports, and that's about it on this kind of machine. But that's really it. So, oh, I disconnected from the network. You know what? Screw it. Update will happen later. But I'll go ahead and clear out everything, and I think that's about it. So next video, I have no idea. I don't have anything planned really. Maybe just shorter videos, like overview videos, than what I've normally been doing. This next month is gonna be a little bit busy, so I don't know how quickly I'll be able to get to the next one. But thanks for watching. Goodbye.